Beau here, and welcome to the video. Today we're gonna have a bit of a throwback episode to the beginning of 2017 in Thailand on an eco trek. And you guys can be able to see how cringy and awkward I was back in 2017 on camera. This was probably my 15th, 16th video that I filmed on camera, so you can see my progression over time. And right after that, I'm gonna be telling the story on how I got hit by a moped on New Year's Eve in Amsterdam. So stay tuned to that. Let's jump right into it. Good morning from Chiang Mai. Today we are going on a Thai eco trek, and I just got in the van with Pan, and we are heading out. We have about he said a 60 however you say it, drive. Sorry, I'm kind of tired this morning. 60 kilometer drive, and then we'll be at our first stop, and their first hike's an hour and a half, and this is a hiking trip. They seem to have markets everywhere here. Maybe I should buy this for the eco trek. I did not end up buying the gun because all I need to protect myself are these guns. So Pan just bought me a frog, as you can see. Cheers. But it's only got like 2.5. Oh, okay, no, it's got 3.5 legs, so it's kind of a special frog. But we'll see how it tastes.
Pretty salty.
Very.
It's a frog.
It's kinda, yeah, you know, it's kinda got a fishy taste, and but it is not nearly as good as the grasshoppers do. Promise you won't let me drown. Promise you won't let me drown. We are just starting our eco trek, and I'm about to figure out what an eco trek actually is. He just told us that if you come here during the rainy season, you'll be covered in leeches and mosquitoes. I'm glad it's not the rainy season. I guess there are also cobras and pythons here. I was not really expecting that. So if you ever leave me, promise you won't let me drown. And now we all have these stylish hats. We have been hiking for about 45 minutes now, and I believe we have another 45 minutes till we get to where we're gonna eat lunch. But the thing is, I've been carrying around this big backpack, and I have yet to see a place or even a break in the forest canopy to get the drone up. So I hope I find a spot that it breaks. Where do we go from? Where do we go from here? No one can save us from keeping clear. I don't wanna lose you, I don't wanna lose you now. 'Cause there is only one thing on my mind. Hey, I just wanna see you while I look great. Hey, I just wanna see you while my dinner is served. Well, after a great lunch, we are back on the trail, and where we are now, if you fall off the trail, you're dead. But the good thing is you're only gonna fall off once. We just rubbed a flower from a tree that smelled like lemon onto our skin for mosquitoes. So that's pretty neat. Smells like cinnamon.
Yeah.
Termite mound. Our fearless leader. Right now it's a little windy, so I don't know how good you're gonna be able to hear me, but we are in rice fields. Sadly, all of the rice has already been harvested for the year, but I did get to see all of the terraces. Right there is where we came from. The village we are in right now, you gotta watch out, you're gonna fall down. The village we are in right now is the Karen village, and they own the rice terraces and pretty much all of this land we have walked on today.
It goes in there and you put rice in there. And,
You finger.
yeah.
No, your finger. Put your finger in there.
Huh?
You.
No problem. Oh, dry. Correct.
Thank you. Well, I survived the trek. Everybody else is in the back, but me and Pan are sitting up front. And I survived, and luckily he did not just leave us out here to die. Getting hit by a motorbike isn't something that normally happens to somebody on vacation. However, let me set the scene for you. I'm in Amsterdam. This is my second trip outside the United States. My first trip was to Argentina about 3 years previous to that. This trip was gonna be for Paris, Amsterdam, and London in about a 7 to 10 day time period. However, I believe we are on day 2, and it was New Year's Eve. Everybody's extremely excited for New Year's Eve. You're in Amsterdam, you're participating in drinking and everything else, and it rolls around to about 2 to 3 a.m. in the morning. We kind of gather up as a group, and we're gonna walk back to the hostel. And let me remind you, we're on like a tour, like there's 30 other people on this tour with EF Ultimate Break, and somehow the group that I'm with kind of gets split up. Somebody was left behind, so the majority of them went back, and a couple of us decided, well, we were just gonna go and walk home. I was one of the more sober ones on the walk home. I knew where we were going. I'm very, very, very good at directions. Like, I very seldomly get lost, especially in cities, especially if I walk there. I can normally get my way back. I'm just mentally map-minded. And so we're walking back, and I'm visiting, you know, we're still having a good time. It's 3 a.m. Walking back, we probably had about 20-minute walk back to where the hostel is. So we stop at this we stop at this crosswalk, and me being me, I stop. However, one of the girls was, she was not in the best of shape, grabbed me and pulled me out in the intersection because she's going home. Well, just so happens the light was red, the crosswalk deal was on, but by her yanking me and pulling me out, somehow I ended up in front of her, and I just get creamed by a motorcycle. I mean, just like I mean, I'm walking right here, and all of a sudden it's just like, bang, and I get like smoked. Nothing happens to her. She's probably within a foot of me. She somehow pulled me off the curb and slung me out in front of her, and I get hit by a motorcycle. And I go down. The motorcycle guy goes down, but he was probably going 20 to 30 miles per hour, which doesn't seem like a lot. However, if it's just a brute force, it's a lot. And I remember at the time thinking, like I kind of brushed myself off. I'm okay. Somebody else called 911 because I guess somehow in the wreck, I guess I stuck my elbow out like the last minute, and I broke the motorcycle guy's nose. Like he's like bleeding. He did not have a helmet on, and he ran the red light. So I was obviously not at fault whatsoever, except I wish the girl wouldn't have like pulled me out in the street. But however, the police show up, they take our statement or whatever, and they say, okay, you guys go home. Don't even ask for any of our information, don't even care. They just want our statement. So we're like, whatever, we go home. And the more I thought about it, I'm like, man, like there was a lot of cop cars there. There's probably 5 cop cars by the end of it, plus the ambulance. And I'm thinking, man, I sure hope I didn't kill that guy. I think he just had a broken nose. Like I laugh about it now because it's so uncomfortable. But I was like, well, so we get back and I meet up with the tour guide and I'm like, hey, so like, because somehow the other group got way ahead of us, and by this time we got back, it's like 4:30 a.m. and they're like sitting out in the lobby worried about us because our phones are dead. And he goes, where were you guys? And we're like, well, I told him the story. We got hit by a motorcycle, or I got hit by, not we, I got hit by a motorcycle. And he goes, oh, okay, so everybody's good. And I go, yeah, but I need you to call the hospital tomorrow morning, make sure everything's good. Like, I feel guilty that, like granted it was the guy's fault, but I feel guilty that I was even there. And he says, okay, so he supposedly called the hospital the next morning, said everything was fine and good. However, I still remember the next morning I get up and my whole side of my leg is like bruised and purple, like it's sore. Like I'm so lucky that I somehow did not break any bones. I don't know how that happened, and I don't know how I instantly reflexed. I think by me sticking my arm out, I think it kind of made me lean a bit and kind of like rather than standing sturdy with the bike it hit, I think I was kind of leaned up a little bit, and it kind of pushed me over easier. That's my theory. However, I had a bruise on my leg. Like I was sore the next day. Not a good situation. The girl didn't even realize, or did not even remember, she pulled me out in the street. But hey, that's how I got ran over by a moped in Amsterdam. I hope that you like this video. This is one of those stories that I actually have never hardly told anybody because I'm slightly embarrassed that it happened, even though it wasn't really my fault that it happened. So hey, thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in 2 weeks. Beau out.